Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about the topic, why aren't you rich yet?
Did I come up with this or you come up with this?
I did. I went back and forth on it. I'm like, but we need to talk about it.
I'm gonna not soften it, but I have a spin on it that I think you'll like. Okay, good.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Edgar asks, a seller contacted me about a house that is a tear down that he inherited. Comps are all over the place, but the home isn't really worth much. The land is zoned for multifamily, and I need help analyzing this. I'm almost inclined to offer $120,000 just for the land. But then again, I don't want to scare off the seller. Anyone interested, I'd be more than happy to provide the property address, etc. This will also be a great partnership offer. So if anyone with this kind of capital would be great. Any other tips and hints would be greatly appreciated. I like these.
Edgar, I'm not picking on you, but I chose this for a reason, and it's not pretty.
Uh-oh. No.
This is exactly why people fail at doing a real estate deal, and they get out of this business forever, and it's tragic. Every week, people come to Jill and I, and they say, hey, I got this deal.
Right.
And it's all over the map. I've been approached by people that have land in Costa Rica and stuff. Mm-hmm. This deal wasn't generated from a mailer, meaning you didn't go through, this is Data Week, by the way. This is the last part of Data Week, last episode. When you put a mailer together, and if you do it according to how we teach it and how we mentor it, there's a tremendous amount of brain power and knowledge and tools and access to tools and assessor data and all kinds of stuff to ensure that you're not going to fail, that there's pricing methodologies and comparison values and all kinds of algorithmic, incredible intelligence that goes into pricing a mailer, so that when somebody opens their mail on their kitchen table in the morning and they're having a cup of coffee and it says, hey, I'd like to buy your property in Nevada or wherever for $32,314.18, that's not an accident. So when I hear a question like this, hey, my buddy called and I got this property that he inherited it. He doesn't understand. And I'm thinking about $120,000. What do you think?
Right.
That you're setting yourself up to ridiculously fail.
Exactly right.
And it's insulting. It's insulting to everybody who's a professional real estate investor. They're just kind of have a beer and throw a dart at the board. And it's 120, 130, 140, 95,000. I don't know. Exactly. So Edgar, I'm not picking on you specifically. I'm just saying there's way more into it that goes into this than just picking a property and, trying to see what happens.
Exactly.
In fact, I would go so far as to say this, and I'm not saying it to you, I'm saying it to everybody. I mean, is this how you run your life? Let's just see what happens.
You have me scared now.
This loosey-goosey attitude about, do you pick a woman that way? Maybe I'll just take her out and see what happens. Or do you have like a type? Yep. Because of the last 30 that you went out with, it didn't work. You can't do every answer to every question that you have, including this one here. Should I do this deal? Is what you're really asking. Is in your pocket.
Right.
The data sets are right smack in your pocket or in your purse.
Be strategic and have a purpose, and don't waver.
Yeah.
We've even done that. Now we can handle multiple property types, but when I was first starting, you taught me the right way too. I just kind of stuck with what I know, stick with what you know, and build on it and grow and build on it and grow. If I got distracted by this or everything's something shiny coming at me, hey, there's something over here and something over there, I wouldn't get anything done. And I'd be doing them all wrong. So thank you.
When these deals come up, if you're a member, please listen to this for sure. Like, stop what you're doing and listen, because the more successful you get, the more times this is going to happen to you. Mm-hmm. If you're a member and your brother-in-law calls and says, hey, I know you've been doing great, you got a new car and the whole thing. That always happens. It happens to us still. Right. My grandmother's got this house, and it's in Las Vegas, and there's this, she's having trouble selling it. And this is what you needed to say. Man, you're awesome. And I love having beer with you on holidays, but that's just not how this works.
Right.
We run data sets. It's pretty intense. We run data sets. We do this, we do this, we do this. And so there's actually not a price that your grandmother's house, we're just not going to approach the deal that way, because I have 19 deals on my desk that I'm doing right now.
Right.
So that's not how to source deals when someone calls you like that.
Thank you.
Today's topic, why aren't you rich yet? Oh, wait a minute. That actually was just like, that's what it taps into what we we're just talking about.
I agree.
This is the meat of the show. Take it away, Jill. I talked enough.
Thank you.
I ranted enough.
You did a little bit. I was like, uh-oh. Trying to save you, Edgar. I love it. You know, it's funny. I have one right now with deal funding, and it's from the kid downstairs in our office building. It's like, hey, so-and-so just presented this to me. I thought this would be a curve for you guys. So he put it in deal funding. He's about to get a big fat. No, thank you. That's not how, and I don't mean to pick on anybody, but that's not how we do them. That's not how you found it. We don't do one-offs like this.
I don't
it needs
ever
to be
do
really
a deal
good.
unless it's mail generated.
Exactly. So I'm sorry, but yeah, it just doesn't. We need to come at it the right way. So, like the topic, you wrote, "Why aren't you rich yet?" I rewrote the topic myself in my head and on my notes, which is, "Why aren't you blank yet?" Fill in the blank.
I like
because whatever it is, why aren't you sending mail yet? Why aren't you married yet? Why aren't you graduated yet? No, I'm not kidding. Dream it up. Whatever you want, it's who are we to decide what it is? Why aren't you doing it yet? That's really what this is all about, I think. So, and I came up with, there's usually two reasons. These are my quick notes.
I love this.
Okay. 2 reasons why you aren't blank yet. Number 1 is you have a fear of failing. Number 2 is you have a fear of succeeding.
Fear of succeeding. Huh?
Yes. Oh, yes. People, come on, it goes both ways. There's fears of failing, which I think we're more used to. That we, what if I can't? I'm gonna go through say I want to be a helicopter pilot. I'm just grabbing it out of the air. I really want to do this, but you have a fear of, what if I can't pass the test? What if I'm not that good? What if I run out of money? It's all expensive. All these things that could come up that you manufacture, keeping you from doing it. And then there are people, I know this is true, that they're afraid of doing it because they're afraid of doing it right and being successful, because, well, shoot, then it's going to be more work. But then I'm going to have to,
Is
then
that
I'm going
lazy?
Whatever you want to call it, it's more responsibility. I know I have friends right now that go, wow, I could never do that. Well, yeah, you can. You're just afraid of it. And I know I have other friends too that are fearful of starting their own company because they're fearful of the responsibility of employees and payroll and taxes and all the things that come around having your own business and having your own company and being successful. And it's a little scary for them. It's not they can't do it. They're just afraid of it. So you got to figure out, are you afraid of failing? Or are you afraid of succeeding? It's usually one or the other. And then how do I get past all that? So I've got 2 things that you should do. Once you figure out what it is and which one's in your way, I got 2 things to help you solve this. One is you need to sit yourself down and you really need to have a heart-to-heart chat with yourself. I am not kidding. You need to really maybe take a weekend, maybe take a week. I don't know what it is for you. Go off somewhere and really sit down, chat with yourself and figure it out. What are you doing holding yourself back, and what are you going to do to commit to it now? You have to really say, you know what? And I've talked to people about this. I've had some really, really stellar consulting calls. This is one of the things that people talk to me about. It's interesting because I can think of a gentleman in particular that was with us for a while, stopped Land Academy for a while, came back, and he had his heart-to-heart chat with himself. And then to hit it home to him, he scheduled a consulting call with me just to go through it all again. He's like, Jill, that's why I'm here. I had a heart-to-heart with myself, and I knew that the reason I wasn't successful before was because of me. I let my life get in the way, and I'm not doing that anymore. And I've already had the conversation with myself. I would like to have he was calling me to have a hit at home conversation with me too and go over some other things that we could, so we make sure this doesn't happen again. And that was things. So that's number one. And then the second thing that was really helpful. So after you have that conversation with yourself and you're home and you're committed and you've got this and you're not stopping now, the next best thing you can do is surround yourself with the same people. Get yourself, say you want to get on a workout routine. This is a common thing that we talk about. It's easy for everybody to identify with. Like, I want to get in shape. Well, first you got to sit yourself down and say, all right, knock it off, put down the candy bar, kind of thing.
Put the cheeseburger down.
Whatever it is, what am I doing? Knock it off. I need to make that mental shift and commit. Number two is, all right, I'm going to be in the gym every day. And one of the things about going to the gym every day is you're around all the right people. And when you're around all those people and you get into it, you get inspired, you get motivated, and you won't stop. What is funny?
I'm on a diet right now called Put the Cheeseburger Down.
Oh.
That's the name of it.
Yes. Is that your own diet? You made that up?
Okay, that's the title.
Yeah, okay.
That's the title and all the contents. Anyway, go ahead. You're on a roll.
That would be a good book title. Put the cheeseburger down. Fatty. I'm sorry. That's awful. But yes, that's really good. That's really, really good. But so all right. So let me run this by you. Not to throw you under the bus, but I have to say, this is totally true. So here's what happens in our house. Stephen you've already had the conversation, put the cheeseburger down, and that was your own mental thing, right? So then for me is now, and I know you've done that, you take it a step further and you try to surround yourself with the right people. So what do? You sit the whole family down, which is true, saying, hey, everyone, I would really like to say, can we change the way we eat our dinners or what we buy at the grocery store for the next however many time period? And then you've even taken a step further and said, if that doesn't work for you, I will eat separately over here. I just want you all to know that's what's going on with me. So that's a perfect example.
I love it. I mean, there are some businesses that I know are very profitable that I won't touch.
Yeah.
And it has to do with how balance sheet intensive they are, like manufacturing. I have no interest in signing a lease, personally guaranteeing a heavy industrial complex, that's 50, 70, 80, 100,000 feet, metal stamping or whatever, heavy industrial for car parts or government contracting. I also, on the flip side of that, have multiple friends, because I grew up in Detroit, who are multi-billionaires because they own companies like that. And that was within their risk threshold. That's really what we're talking about. Jill said, she has friends and they don't want to have employees. They don't want to go through it.
They're afraid?
What that is it's out of their, you can call it afraid, but, men don't like that word.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's just beyond, it's beyond your risk threshold.
Got it. Excuse me. Hold, please. I'll make a note of that. Now, this is good. I want to use this. Is this beyond your risk threshold?
I'm very comfortable making data-driven decisions in front of a desk and building a team, a close team around me that I trust, and they trust me, and we have a lot of fun while we're doing it, and count the money.
Yeah.
And that, beyond that, these balance sheet intensive type businesses like manufacturing or, owning a fleet of boats, that's never been my kind of thing. Or it's very profitable. Jill and I have a friend who inherited a company that's they rent construction equipment,
Cranes and things like that.
Cranes. And we have two friends that actually do that. Very successful, crazy successful. All that balance sheet maintenance and all that's beyond my risk threshold. Yeah, that's not to say I wouldn't get you
on the hook for a $5 million crane.
One crane
that I rent out for $100,000 a day.
And the other set of friends we have are on the hook for billions of dollars worth of equipment, literally. Right. So that's not something I'm interested in, and that's probably why I'll never be a billionaire. I'm not willing to take that much risk. I am willing to buy and sell tons of real estate at any given time. For some reason, it just makes sense to me. So
I agree.
But if you want to be rich and you're like, what the heck? I don't get it. All you got to do is just take it step by step.
Yep.
And surround yourself, like Jill said. It's what Jill said.
Thank you.
And I don't think it's fear. I think it's really just having a plan and executing and getting
Okay.
yourself out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
Once you get way out of your comfort zone, that becomes your comfort zone.
That's true.
And then when you get older, you can reel yourself back in. Like, I don't go look at real estate anymore ever. And I used to all the time because I don't like it. I send somebody else out there.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. That was good.
So I think Jill and I, in the end, basically said the exact same thing in a much different way.
Because that was that okay with your risk threshold?
Yeah, I think we said the same thing, just with
I know,
different
I'm
language.
teasing you.
And
You're
it's
right.
good.
I love it.
Hey, we know your time is valuable. Thanks for spending some of it with us today. Join us next time for the episode called Tax Deed Investing Explained.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community found at landinvestors.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
So hopefully you're watching us here on YouTube. And if you are, you're catching all this comical stuff going on behind us. If you have not found our YouTube channel, you should. Because there's not only this nuttiness behind us, but there's all kinds of other great, informative, detailed videos, and more training and instruction is coming.
Exactly.
Thank you. And wherever you're watching and wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
And inspiration
to buy undervalued property.